Good morning, Nat.
Good morning, Pete.
Woo, I'm pumped up.
I'm still surprised.
Yeah, you're so surprised, right? So I didn't fail Mother's Day.
Well, tell me about that.
Well, you gotta do Mother's Day right. My wife is awesome, and she does a great job with our kids. And sometimes I get carried away and I buy her things like vacuum cleaners and stuff for cleaning and
pans,
cooking and stuff. And that hasn't went over really well. So
Right.
I decided this year that I was going to get her a massage.
Nice.
Yeah. I thought that's a way for her to escape and somebody pampering her a little bit and stuff like that. So I was thinking about that as one of our popular podcasts was, hey, we're going to put a squeeze on you. Do you remember that one where we talked about Squeeze, the massage franchise?
Yeah.
And that was a really popular episode. So I thought we would replay that because there's some great nuggets in that one. Sound good?
That's a great idea. Let's roll that.
We've got a very special guest today. Her name is Brittany, and Brittany is the CEO and the founder of Squeeze, and she is an incredible person. And so I want to welcome you, Brittany, to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Pete. Hi, Nat. It's great to be here.
Now, Brittany, you're a professional podcaster, so obviously I appreciate you being here. You could probably give us some tips from that standpoint. So thank you for, again, being here. So
I love your energy. You're doing great.
Brittany, so Squeeze, you guys you entered an industry in regards to massage that there's a lot of players in it. It's kind of an industry that's been around for a long time. And so understanding you're a founder, how did you come up with the idea for Squeeze?
So the Squeeze story really doesn't start without Drybar. I ran marketing for Drybar for 4 years. I helped build that company from 30 million to over 100 million, opened over 60 doors, launched several franchisees. And we really have a passion for creating great experiences. And Squeeze was actually the brainchild of one of the Drybar founders. Of course, they didn't have the bandwidth to get it off the ground. So they, really kindly gave me the opportunity to run with it. But, really how we look at the massage landscape is there was a hole in the middle. On one end, there, are the high-end spas, which are really lovely, but unattainable for a regular experience. And then on the flip side, there's discount chains, which certainly to their credit over the past 15 to 20 years have made massage accessible,
Sure.
but lack a lot from a customer experience standpoint today. So we really felt like with our experience at Drybar and creating what I like to call love brands, we had a real opportunity to disrupt the space.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so as you take a look at this industry where you got kind of the high end and we'll call it the discount. So you guys came into this with this idea of finding that sweet spot. And so as we talk about you guys, specifically Squeeze, what do you do in terms of services that kind of separate you from the competition?
Yeah, so the biggest differentiator of our experience, in addition to again, kind of, sitting in the middle. And what I mean by that is, we've brought in very sophisticated design and a luxury experience and a great brand. So it feels high end, but it's still at that affordable price point. But our biggest differentiation is our innovative technology platform. So we have built out an end-to-end booking and payment platform that allows our guests to do everything from book an appointment all the way through to setting their personalized preferences, everything like areas of the body you want focused on, what you want avoided, if you want more or less pressure, if you want your table heated, if you prefer oil or lotion. All of those things are saved to the guest profile, and the therapist is able to review it prior to the guest even walking in. So we've eliminated a lot of the awkward in-person exchanges or, perhaps forgetting what you want. We've also designed our space specifically so that the therapist has that information accessible to them throughout the entire massage. So we're really ensuring that we deliver against that personalized experience.
Okay, so personalized experience, right? So it sounds like you guys are almost like the Uber of massages, right? I got this app and I can go in there and I can say, hey, I want to get a massage and this is kind of what I need. And these are my preferences. Like when I do Uber, I can decide I don't want them to talk to me and I want it to be a little cooler in the car. So you guys have really kind of taken technology and set yourself apart of creating a personalized experience.
Exactly. And speaking of Uber, one of the best parts of our experience, we like to say our guests get to walk in and float out, because post massage, you're able to rate, tip, and review on the app or online at your leisure. You're not having to wait in line. There's no awkward checkout moments. There's no one asking you about tipping. So you really do get to stay in that very relaxed state of mind.
That is so nice, because I hate stopping off the counter and paying. It kind of takes away from the experience for sure. So walk me through. So I schedule this on my app, right? And I tell them exactly what I want. So I show up. So tell me kind of the experience. I walk through the door into the squeeze location. Tell me kind of how the experience goes.
Yeah. So we have a maitre d' who will greet you up front. I still felt it was really important to have that human connection. Our space is warm and inviting and welcoming. So we still do have someone that will say hello, check you in. You can relax in our lounge. We've got an aromatherapy bar where it's interactive. You can actually smell different scents that you would like applied during your service. We have a refreshment station with tea and almonds and water, and really meant to be very relaxing.
Yep.
Your therapist greets you in the lounge. They take you back to your suite. We call our massage room suites. And we've really designed that space to be very thoughtful. We actually have 6 different playlists that you can choose from. So
Holy cow. Yeah.
You get to choose the music that you like. So of course we have the traditional standard Zen playlist, is what we like to call for the, normal spa music. But we also have things like reggae and indie, and we have a holiday playlist playing right now. So, really just trying to, again, going back to that personalization, making it as customizable as possible. We have a phone charger on the station. We've got hooks. We have a dedicated guest area. A lot of our competitors have like a chair in the corner or a basket.
Yeah.
We've really been very mindful. And then the only other thing, I would say is a big differentiator within the space itself is we have a ready button on the table. So you as the guest, when you get on the table and you're ready for your therapist to come back in, you hit a little button underneath. It turns a light on outside the room, and that's how the therapist knows to re-enter.
Oh, wow. That's very cool. So I hit the ready button, and you got music playing. And then also, I think the therapist has like a tablet or technology in the room that could say, they can look and say, okay, Pete wants a deep tissue and he's having problems with his shoulder and stuff like that. So they have the ability to real time see what I need and come in there and get me handled.
Exactly. It was really important to us, if the guest is going to take the time in the upfront to tell us exactly what they want, that the therapist has that information throughout the entire massage, so that they're ensuring they're delivering on those preferences. And
Well,
also, I forgot to mention, the guest is also able to adjust lighting within the room also.
Holy cow. Music and lighting doesn't get any better than that.
Exactly.
So I know you guys do extra things like heat therapy and stuff like that. And when I've got massages in the past, I have to pay for that kind of stuff. Do you guys kind of, is it itemized? So if I want like a little heat therapy, does that cost me more?
That's a very great point, Pete. One of the things that we were really dedicated to when we thought about the squeeze experience was we wanted it to feel good throughout. Obviously, massage makes you feel good, but our brand, we really like to think of it as a feel good brand. And one of the things that always frustrated us and didn't make us feel good was going in someplace thinking that you were going to pay $100, and then you walk out having to pay $150 before tip because you wanted all of these other things. Yeah. So yes, our add-ons or extras are all included in the squeeze pricing. So we don't charge for deep tissue, heat therapy, aromatherapy, percussion therapy. We use hypervolts for percussion therapy. So yes, it's all included.
Oh, that's awesome. So I get this personalized experience. It doesn't cost me more to get extras where I need it or want it from that standpoint. And you talk about this great experience. So I was preparing for this and I saw something really incredible. Your net promoter score. And most people, they don't know about net promoter scores, but you guys, as you've looked to find this space of kind of that premium experience for the right price, customized, Uberish, for lack of better terms, bottom line is you guys are making people happy.
I appreciate that. Yes, our net promoter score is 82, which is higher than Apple and Starbucks and Nordstrom. And, I think that honestly goes to the fact that we have hindsight from Dry Bar. We have learnings. We know certain things that work and don't. And we were really able to apply the things we wished we had done differently earlier on at Dry Bar at Squeeze. And so, we've really we've really just tried to be incredibly thoughtful around the entire experience. And I should say that that actually starts for us with our employees. I really truly believe that, happy employees make for happy guests. And so our attention and focus actually starts first and foremost with our team.
Yeah, that sounds like a great culture. So you guys are franchising. How many franchise locations do you have opened or under development?
So we opened our flagship location in March of 2019. So we were open for a whopping 11 months before the world had different plans for us.
Yeah, great.
And being in Los Angeles, of course, the strictest, market, we were actually closed basically for the entire year. So in any case, we put a little bit of a pause on expansion during COVID, but
Sure.
we recently just sold Scottsdale and Bethesda. I've got a handful of other markets that we're just on the verge of announcing. So in 2022, we plan to have between 5 to 10 locations open all across the country. And then the goal is that, we scale this thing to hundreds and hundreds of units in the next few years.
So exciting. We're looking forward to when you guys open up in Chicago. Nat and I will be your first customers for sure.
Amazing.
That's that point. Now, when you talk about adding these franchisees, right? What are you looking for? What characteristics are you looking for in franchisees for Squeeze?
So Squeeze is my first true entrepreneurial venture. I grew my career in the corporate world, and the experience of being an entrepreneur has been so incredible for me. I always say that it's overwhelming and exhausting because there's nothing like being responsible for all of the things, but mostly it's liberating. And so the reason that we chose to franchise, there's a myriad of reasons, but I was just so excited about the opportunity to give this chance to other people in their small community to create a beautiful, great experience. We like to say that when people come into Squeeze, it's the best hour or hour and a half of the day. And what an amazing thing to, create for people. So, we're looking for hungry, excited, very passionate people who understand. I mean, certainly we want people who are experienced in business, who have operational understanding, P&L. Team management is probably the most important thing. But really, all different types of backgrounds we're very welcoming to, because at the end of the day, the great thing about franchising, as I know is it's a business in a box. It's paint by number. We have created a process and a guide for every step of the way for our franchisees. So, if you have always wanted to start your own business and you didn't know where to start, this is a great opportunity. So, we're really looking for people who want to make a difference in their community, and they can come from, many different backgrounds.
So people that maybe wanted to always dreamed of being an entrepreneur, they've got a little bit of that, it's my dream. It's about this idea of making impact in the community. It's about, I bring to the table, I think, operational or some kind of leadership skills from that standpoint. And you plug into a great franchise system that it gives the people an ultimate experience at a reasonable price. Is that about right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. As you look at people going into business, and you talk about that, how crazy and freeing it is to become an entrepreneur. What advice would you give to somebody that's looking to become an entrepreneur?
Everyone is figuring it out as they go. I think people have a fear that they either don't know where to start or they don't have all the answers. So then they never start and they never get the opportunity to challenge themselves and grow. So, I would just say that it is a risk, of course, but it's worth taking, and it's, I always like to say that I would have rather valiantly, have fought in the arena than to have never stepped into it.
Yeah.
So I think it's just, knowing that you can do whatever you put your mind to. And also it's okay to not know all the answers, number one. And two, the great thing about franchising is that there's a whole community of people, and there's a support system baked in to help you with whatever, comes up.
Yeah, I like to call it entrepreneur light. Franchising, it's an easier way to become an entrepreneur. You still have to work really hard, right? To your point, but it is entrepreneur light. What is, I want to go a little bit deeper here because you've got very profound thoughts, but what is the best advice somebody's ever given you?
Well, that's a good question. I think the best piece of advice that I've ever gotten is that I am the only one that's going to champion myself forward. I think a lot of people, especially as you grow up in the corporate world, you rely on your boss, or you think that you're limited in certain ways because things have always been done one way or the other. But I had a boss very early on that said, listen, I'm going to support you as much as I can, but you're going to be the one that makes what you want happen.
Yeah. Boy, we need more of that, right? I mean, because in this society where everybody's blaming somebody else, it's at the end of the day, you own it, right? And just take control of your life and do the things you need to do. And to the point, become an entrepreneur, get in the arena and give it a shot from a standpoint. All right. What is your favorite book?
My favorite book. Well, my favorite business book is Radical Candor by Kim Scott. And I swear it is the best business book out there because
Really?
Yes, and it's an incredible book. Her whole philosophy is it's about how to be an amazing manager while still having your humanity. And her whole, insight is we were taught from a really young age, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And then you get into business and all of a sudden you have to say some not so nice things every once in a while. And so she really provides a very clear roadmap on how to work with people, how to provide feedback. It's just brilliant. So I recommend it to everyone.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to read that. That sounds awesome because I think that's very true. So, Brittany, congratulations on taking the step of becoming an entrepreneur, taking all that great skills you gained at the dry bar and creating, Squeeze. And that's very cool from a standpoint. And it sounds like you're doing the right thing for people that want to become business owners. You're giving them a great culture, great opportunity to make an impact in the community, but you're also creating a great experience for people, the customers, right? Where in today's world, things are so crazy. And if I can come in there and it can be the best hour and a half of my day and it can just be simple, I can float in and float out your terms. That is very cool. So congratulations on all your success. And I just thank you for being here today.
Thank you. I very much appreciate it. And hopefully we'll be in Chicago soon enough.
Thanks for listening to the Hire Yourself podcast. For more resources, check out our website at hireyourself.com. And remember to subscribe to this podcast to receive each episode. Please leave us a rating, and we'd love to hear your feedback or suggestions for topics.